Supercommunicators by Charles Duhigg, written by Nicholas Goka. One-sentence summary. Supercommunicators is a guide to connecting more genuinely and efficiently with other people thanks to identifying 3 kinds of recurring conversations and then aligning with others to help everyone feel heard, validated, and get what they want. Favorite quote from the author. The right conversation at the right moment can change everything. Charles Duhigg. What was a conversation that changed your entire life? Try to remember one. Perhaps it was an emotional breakup over FaceTime, an offhand comment that ended up burning an important bridge. Maybe it was a heated family discussion that ultimately helped you find clarity and make an important decision. In Charles Duhigg's case, he was once asked to manage multiple people as part of a complex project. With a Harvard MBA and years of communication experience as a journalist, what could go wrong? A lot, it turns out. At one point, a colleague told him they felt unheard. Duhigg yet again only rattled off a list of suggestions until he heard it point blank. You're not listening to me. Thankfully, Duhigg reflected on his own failure and started calling scientists and experts. 3 years later, he can now present his learnings in book form. Supercommunicators: How to Unlock the Secret Language of Connection. Explains that great, successful conversations follow from a concrete set of skills. A set of skills anyone, even you, can learn. Here are 3 lessons from the book to help you communicate better than you ever have before. 1. Good communication always goes back to matching one another in conversation. 2. There are 3 kinds of conversations we have again and again. Learn to identify them. 3. To successfully align with others in any conversation, follow 4 simple rules. Let's see what it takes to become a supercommunicator. Lesson 1. The root of all great communication is alignment with other human beings. When he was 18, Alex Hormozi worked for a fur coat dealer. One day, a lady made a scene about a button coming off. Instead of defending his product, John, the store owner, got worked up on the lady's behalf. Mrs. Johnson, this is outrageous. Who sold this coat to you? We'll fire them immediately. Ironically, this quickly calmed the lady down. Oh, it's not so bad, this happens. If you just repair my coat, I'll be happy. The lesson for Alex? There can only be one person in the angry boat. As soon as she saw John getting angry for her, the customer changed her mood and tone to resolve the situation smoothly instead of escalating it. In the book, Duhigg calls this the matching principle. It's the most important aspect of being a great communicator. Effective communication requires recognizing what kind of conversation is occurring and then matching each other. He writes, aligning with others is about more than just mimicking them. To become a supercommunicator, we need to listen closely to what's said and unsaid, ask the right questions, recognize and match others' moods, and make our own feelings easy for others to perceive. These are not easy tasks, let alone when you must perform them habitually and at the same time. But they are all learnable skills, and that's what we'll get into next. Lesson 2. Most of our conversations fall into one of 3 important to recognize categories. To align with people, you must quickly identify what kind of conversation is taking place. That requires a framework to place conversations in, and said framework marks the core of Duhigg's book. These 3 conversations are our most common. 1. The what's this really about conversation, which is logical and analytical in nature and requires a decision-making mindset. 2. The how do we feel conversation, which is dominated by our emotions, beliefs, and memories. It requires an emotional mindset. 3. The who are we conversation, which touches on our relationships, how we are seen by others and see ourselves, and our social identities. This one asks us to be in a social mindset. When we're in what's this really about mode, we must determine what to talk about and how we'll arrive at conclusions together. That means understanding we are negotiating, figuring out what everyone wants, and then using either data and reasoning or stories and compassion to achieve consensus. In How Do We Feel Conversations, We need to listen for vulnerabilities, hear what is unsaid, and just as important, we must show we are listening, Duhigg writes. That takes matching people's mood and energy, asking deep questions, ensuring you've understood, and showing vulnerability. Conversations that deal with the question, who are we, are tough. They're about our role in larger groups. To navigate the tricky waters of race, politics, and we must remind everyone they have multiple identities, get people on equal footing, and then leverage our existing roles into a new shared group. Many conversations go through all three of these stages, so let's see how we can become fluent in identifying and moving through them.
Now, before we get into lesson number 3, if you love learning and growing thanks to books like this one, you should download our free list of the 7 best self-help books of all time. After summarizing over 1,000 books, we handpicked these 7 top titles and curated them in a beautifully designed, easily skimmable PDF. It will help you pick your next great self-improvement read. Just enter your email using the link below this video, confirm in your inbox, and we'll instantly send you the list, free of charge. Alright, let's dive into lesson number 3.
Lesson 3. Use 4 rules to turn any discussion into a learning conversation, and thus find alignment with others. The most important takeaway from Duhigg's book might be this. When you try to turn every conversation into a learning conversation, you'll quickly get better at identifying types of discussions, and thus also at matching and connecting with other people. Duhigg suggests 4 rules you can follow in order to do so. 1. Pay attention to what kind of conversation is happening. 2. Share your goals and ask others for theirs. 3. Ask others about their feelings and share your own. 4. Consider if identities might be important to this discussion. This is an extremely practical 4-step framework you can follow in any exchange. For example, if a close colleague tells you she is struggling with finishing a big report, does she seem like she wants to be helped, hugged, or simply heard? Depending on your answer, you can settle into a decision-making, emotional, or social mindset. Is there something I can do to help? And do you remember why you applied for this job? Are questions you can then use to dig deeper. Also notice clues, like whether she's changing the subject or her body language. Let's say she tells you she is stressed by her non-work life as a single parent. Summarize and repeat what you've understood so far to ensure it's right. Also, match her mood. Don't be all hyper if she's quiet and reserved. Finally, test the water on social identities. Are you proud to be a successful single mom? If her frustration seems to go back to that identity, perhaps reminding her that she is also a valued member of your company is a good place to start. As you can see, there's no one right way to use these rules, but if you keep practicing them, you'll quickly become a better, perhaps even a super communicator.
Hey, this is Nick, the founder of 4-Minute Books, and if you feel even a tiny bit smarter after watching this book summary, you should watch this next one and discover even more tips and tricks on how to think better and get smarter from another expert researcher. Click on through and let's get started.